Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz, my company is Hello From Liz Mathews, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with you today. This is FlossTube episode 85, 84, 85, I don't know. I didn't look before I sat down here to chat with you today and get ready for a lot of that. I'm feeling slightly unprepared, but here no less. It has been 2 weeks since my last FlossTube video. I didn't feel like I had enough to take up any of your time last week. I do try to film every single week, but I had a whole lot of nothing to share with you. And because I had posted two kind of special edition videos on my channel last week, I felt like you had spent enough time with me, seen my face enough, so I skipped my regular FlossTube for last week, but here I am today. As always, you will find everything that I mention, all of my contact information, anything pertinent to this video listed in the description box of this video below. You can drop that box down and I put everything chronologically, so you shouldn't have to take too many notes or be distracted from your stitching too terribly much while we chat today. I hope that you've had a really good 2 weeks. It's been a lot of market prep here for me, and because I have been really intensely model stitching, I don't have a lot of cross stitch to share with you today. Just a heads up, this is going to be a rather quick video, I suspect. I've got some happy mail, some things that I purchased that arrived, and a few kind of announcements that I want to make sure that you hear about and take advantage of if you'd like to. And then I also, the most exciting thing that we're going to chat about today, I have the kickoff of the Dimensions cross stitch SAL that I am hosting. So many of you followed me or found me on Instagram or posted a comment on the last video where I was chatting with you about how I'm getting started and preparing for the SAL, saying that you were going to join, and it just makes me so happy. So we're going to chat about that last. In case that's not your thing and you are not joining me for that SAL, you don't have to listen to everything that I'm going to say. You can say goodbye and catch me in next week's video, but if so, stay tuned. I am so excited to get this started with you guys. So that's kind of what this video is going to be. Like I said, I don't have that much to share with you. It's been a lot of model stitching, a lot of market prep, which is so necessary. Dentist appointments, doctor's appointments. Today, my neighbor who lives directly next door has decided, I suspect, you know, I'm like that, like, nosy neighbor is totally me. I think they're having a sump pump put in because all morning I have heard saws in concrete and shoveling of concrete, and I think that's what's going on. So I just saw all the trucks leave for lunch, so I was like, now's the time to film. So I want to apologize in advance if they do come back and you start to hear some construction noises in the background. I will do my best, but let's cross our fingers that we can get through this video a little more quietly than it has been all morning. Okay, big announcement. It has absolutely nothing to do with me or my business. It's just something that I want you to know about. It is the Supurb Owl event that is hosted by Lindy Stitches and Hands On Design, Kathy Haberman. It is a virtual event happening not this Sunday, next Sunday. Shoot, I don't have the date. You know I'm linking it below. It is happening at the same time as a really big sporting event that you can't mention because of legal reasons here on the internet. But you know, there was like a big game coming up. And if that's not the thing for you, then maybe you would like to join the Supurb Owl virtual event. Tickets are on sale right now. So I, for one, will be attending the Supurb Owl event. And I think that you should too. I am selfishly so excited about this event because as a co-host for the Jingle Ball in December, I was doing a lot of work. I wasn't able to get to the stitching tables as much as I like, or the speed dating tables as much as I like, and I wasn't able to just sit down and leisurely chat with people because, you know, I was working and I was happy to do so. But I am so excited to take advantage of all of those features, which you will find in the Supurb Owl event next Sunday as well. So it's just gonna be a really, really great time. You join virtually from your home. Anybody, stitchers across the world are welcome, and it should be a really, really fun event. Linked below is the website where you can get more information. I don't even have all of the details and information, but it should be really, really fun. There is going to be a conversation that happens between Steph of Lindy Stitches and Kathy of Hands On Design that I think will be particularly of interest to you. It's all about if you, at least what I'm assuming it's all about by the description, is if you've ever considered designing, you can ask them questions, get some answers, get some feedback, and I think that is super cool because I am constantly asked questions about how to get into designing. So it's really fun that they are offering that, just one of the many, many features, including exclusive designs. So you need to go to the website if you want more information, but if you plan on being home next Sunday and you want to spend some time with fellow stitchers, it's the place to be for sure. I also just need to take a second and just let me brag on, rave about, be really awkward about how much I love Steph of Lindy Stitches. She is doing such amazing things. I am so happy that I could call her a friend. I'm so looking forward to seeing her at market this year. What she has brought to the cross stitch community for all of us across the world is so super special, and we are all better for her and her ingenuity and creativity and what she has put together and brought for us. And that includes a series of videos that she has just started on her YouTube channel, linked below of course, where she's going over Nashville needlework releases as they come in. She is not only a cross stitch designer, but she has a online store as well. So she's been getting all of the cross stitch designers' new release newsletters, and she's sharing about them. She has 2 up so far, and I think she's gone over 6 designers' new releases. It's such a good way to get all the information. She just posted another video this morning, and I immediately was like, watch. So I feel very in the know. They are great videos, and I highly recommend. So Steph, you're doing an amazing job. We are so lucky to have you, and I can't wait to see you in March. Okay. I think those are all of the bits of announcements. I don't have any shop news. I don't have any membership news. I'm just plugging away and working towards market. I will let you know that I have 6 designs coming to market. That number was finalized last week, so I am in the thick of it because I am not a designer who works ahead. I don't know if you know that about me. I am very much like, what needs to get done, do that now. It works really well for me. It's not always the most stress-free way to go about things, but it's who I am. I don't think it's gonna change for this release, so that's where I'm at. I did post 2 special edition-esque videos to my YouTube channel last week. One was all about Q-snaps because I got my first Q-snap in the mail. You guys are so helpful. I learned so much from watching and reading the comments that came through on that video. So thank you. I will now be twisting my clamps. I know that I can interchange them, and I will be adding some batting under the clamps to protect my stitching. You guys are just wealths of knowledge, and I appreciate you sharing that knowledge with me. I always learn so much from you. I also posted a video about the dimension style that I'm hosting. More on that later, but that was there. I hope that you enjoyed that. We kind of already talked about that. Yeah, so let me share with you some things that I both purchased and received. Let's start with some happy mail from a fellow stitcher, a new floss tuber, who I want to not only introduce you to, but also thank from the bottom of my heart. I received an email and a package from Chari Moss. Chari is a card maker who has recently started her FlossTube episodes on her YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel is already established, but she's just introduced FlossTube videos, so you definitely want to go give her a watch. She sent me the sweetest card. Look at that. Like, couldn't be any more perfect. Thank you, Chari. I'm gonna save this forever. And the reason she reached out to me is because through watching my videos, she learned that I had a Dimensions unicorn chart. It is the Winter's Twilight stocking. It is a stocking that I want to stitch for myself. I look at it and I think of my childhood, and it's just so beautiful. And this stocking is on the secondhand market. It's out of print. And I had been eyeing it since I got into these kits on eBay. I don't find myself willing to spend upwards of $200 for this kit. So what I did was I purchased the like rectangular sampler version of this piece that is still in print and available, and I thought I'll just convert it to a stocking. I can totally do it. And upon inspection, I learned that it's not quite the same and it would need a little work. Well, Chari stitched this many years ago and she knew how much I wanted it, so she so kindly mailed me the kit with the remnants from her stocking included, which works perfectly. So because I have the sampler version, I'm calling this the sampler version, the rectangular like painting version. Oh, it's fully kitted. I buried the threads in there. I have all of the material I need to stitch this. The only thing I needed was the chart, which is included in the Pass the Stash from Chari. I am so excited. This is absolutely beautiful. Chari's stocking was beautiful, which just like fueled the fire, lit the fire, really made me want to start on my stocking. It will be a long time before I do, but I am ready now, and I am so thankful to have this stocking pattern. So again, this is the Winter's Twilight stocking. I continued the dive on stash unloading. Let me pull off these stickers, and found two Prairie Schooler charts that I did not have in my collection. I collect the like old style original publication cardstock version of Prairie Schooler charts, and there were two that became available. One is band samplers, which is now mine, along with Christmas Ark. I'm not a traditional Noah's Ark kind of stitcher, but look at that Christmas Ark. I thought, why not? I will add it to the collection. So two charts found their way home to me from stash unloading. I made a little order from 123 Stitch, two products. One is just for fun. It's a stash kind of product, if you know what I mean. And one is functional. This stash product is a new cross stitch kit that I had my eye on for quite a while. It was out of stock. I got the notification that it was in stock. I quickly added to cart. This is the glare Luca-S Santa's Express, and it is this beautiful piece. Look at Santa and those presents. I just love it. I just love it. Will I stitch it anytime soon? I'll start it, that's for sure. Will I finish it? Who knows? But the stashing is quite a hobby that I have fully embraced, and I'm really happy to have this in my stash. It has all of the threads on the back, as do all Luca-S kits. I will get this in a project keeper and save it for a rainy day. The next thing I bought is a DMC Thread Portfolio, I guess you can call it. This is the DMC thread card that has the actual threads on there. I think this is far superior to the thread card that just has the image of threads. And this is also the W100B W100B edition, which means it has the most recent thread additions to it, which I think is very key, especially if you are a designer. Yes, I have one of these already. It's well used, it's well loved. It's one of the most important tools I have in my designer's toolkit. And I bought this for a very specific reason. I plan on cutting this apart, I know, into strips. And I've seen someone else do this. For the life of me, I can't remember who it was. It was years ago. But my plan is to cut this cardstock paper into long skinny strips that has both the thread and the thread numbers on it, because there are so many times that I'm trying to match a thread up to, say, an antique sampler, or just compare thread colors to each other. And it's really hard if you're trying to compare, like, what does this red look like next to this purple? And you're just like, your eyes are going from here to here to here, but you can't really get a good sense for it because the colors aren't next to each other. So if I cut these into long skinny strips, I will have really versatile swatches that I can put right next to each other. And something I've learned over the past couple of years, more so now than ever, is the color that you put next to a color changes it. So I think this will be a really, really helpful tool, and I'm happy to have this. I haven't cut it up yet, but we'll be doing so in the near future. And I'm also starting to brainstorm about my new studio in the new house. We haven't figured any of that out. I have no news for you on that, except that I know that I want to have a wall of DMC threads that are just there for color reference, for display, a full skein, not to be pulled, but just for me to grab and utilize and color match. I think that will be really, really helpful. So more on that later, but you know, I use a variety of different threads in my designing, but DMC is it's a consistent, I will always, always, always have a thoughtful DMC conversion on everything I do. So I thought that would be a really good thing to incorporate into my studio. That is everything I have to show you. That leaves us now with chat about the Dimensions SAL. So if that's not your thing, I will catch you in the next video. If so, let's do it. Let's start this SAL together. I cannot wait. I am, of course, talking about the Gold Collection Petite from Dimensions Coffee Shoppe pattern, which we are SALing together here on my YouTube channel. I did a video just this week going over how I prepped everything, and I did exactly what I told you I would do in that video. I thread dropped all of my threads, and I am very ready to go. I'm going to start stitching today. It will be extra exciting because for 2 weeks I've done nothing but model stitch, and I've got to tell you, I am missing personal stitching so much. So I've got to do this, right? I am very, very excited to put my first stitches in on this. I wanted to mention, I've seen a couple comments from people who are having trouble getting this kit. I know it is kind of backlogged on Amazon. Last I checked, 123 Stitch was out of it, but I did see a couple copies on Etsy. So you might want to check that out if you are still looking for it. And I also wanted to mention that this piece, Coffee Shoppe, has a companion piece. I believe it's called Toy Shoppe. It's the same size, has kind of the same look and vibe, but it's a Christmas toy shop. And I saw that several people who maybe can't get their hands on this or who have already stitched this are stitching that piece along with us for the SAL, which I think is awesome. Really, I just want to spread the joy of stitching these beautiful Dimensions kits. So whatever you choose to stitch is definitely fine by me. This is a stress-free, no pressure stitch along. So just a couple options if you haven't quite sourced your kit yet. So in that video that I posted last week, I chatted a little bit about the thread list and how to read the chart. If you want to go back and take a peek at that, it might be really helpful. So why don't we go ahead and chat about what section I am choosing and suggesting. I hate the word instructing you to stitch, but it's what I'm doing, and I invite you to stitch the same thing. And if you find that once you start stitching this, you don't want to stop and you just want to go forward, you have my blessing, go for it. Share pictures with me. I cannot wait to see this come together. I've seen a couple finishes on Instagram lately. So beautiful. Just made me all the more excited to get going on this. So let me tell you what I plan on stitching. I'm gonna pull out the chart here so that I can give you any kind of helpful information or tips that I have for you. I, again, am stitching on the included 18 count Aida. That is new for me. I am very curious to see how I like holding it and how I like using it. And something else that's new for me is I have decided to do a center start. I am a bottom right starter always, which is pretty unusual, I think, in the cross stitch community. I really like stitching up and to the left. I stitch in hand and I do full stitches. There's a name where you like do all of these stitches and then go back and do the top leg. I am a full stitch maker all the way. So starting in the center is a little bit different. And if you look at the center, let me show you what I plan on doing. And then there's a little more that I want to do in this 2-week time frame to kind of get us set up for success in the future. So if you look at the center of the chart, hopefully you have yours in front of you. It is about that, let me see here. It's those 2 center windows. So that, my friends, is what I plan on stitching. There are 2 large center windows. One has the established 1891 text in it and one has a present in it. I plan on stitching those 2 center windows. Now, as far as that 1891 text in the top center window, I will probably hold off on that. I like to put my back stitches in at the end. I know that is not everybody's style. Some people like to put the back stitches in as they go. And I might change my mind on that. I don't know, but I usually save those type of stitches, the fancy stitches, for the last step. So I'm gonna leave that up to you. But what I do plan on stitching, I brought a little an envelope opener over here so I could hopefully point out exactly what I'm doing. This window, nope, that's not gonna work. This window and this window. I am not going to do the tree that you see here overlapping the bottom window. I'm gonna save that for future stitching. It's really just what's inside the window, that darkness and the presence and stuff like that. In addition to doing those 2 window squares, I am also going to do all of the teal window frames for this bump out. So a lot of straight lines in the teal color only. It is not going to extend to up here. It's going to just be that arch and those frames. If that is unclear, and I completely understand why that would be, I'll get better at this as we go. Please shoot me a question. But I think if we can get the framework in for that bay window, we'll be in a really good spot to build from there. And if this is not your style stitching, if you prefer to just go row by row and not kind of build a scene, please feel free to do that. This is just my way, and I am taking you along my way. So do whatever suits you, but that's the plan. What else do I want to make sure I say? Yeah, it's just the framework of that bay window. It does not go into the door. It's really just that bay window and those 2 windows. I see that we will have some half stitches in the windows. That might be kind of new. You might be surprised at how fast half stitches go. It's really fun. Likely we're using 2 or 3 strands of threads. We'll have to regard our thread list, but in addition to the established 1891 text, I will probably wait on putting in those French knot snowflakes until the end. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking of stitching in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully that seems like a manageable amount. If you look at your chart, I think you will likely see that it's not actually that much. I didn't count up the number of stitches, but 2 weeks time. In 2 weeks, I will chat with you again and tell you where I'm going from there. But I do have a plan, a goal in mind. So I'm not choosing randomly. I'm trying to be smart and guide us very well. So anyway, yay, let's kick off this SAL. Use the hashtag HelloDimensionsSAL on Instagram if you post anything so I can see and be inspired. I will share with you how far I get in next week's video, and then in 2 weeks I will be fully caught up and we will add to our stitching. I hope that you love this piece as much as I know that I am going to. I am so excited to put my first stitches in. Okay. That's all I have for you today. I hope that you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I will catch up with you next time. Take care. Bye.